Stop. But what's going on, everyone? We're back with our season 2 Lalomanu Beach coverage with the man, Anthony, who finished in 3rd place on the season and was the person that casted the deciding vote for the winner. Anthony, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm awesome. I'm looking forward to this interview. I know you probably have a little bit of spice, a little bit of tea to share with us.
A lot, actually. Yeah. What do you want first?
Spice for the end.
Why don't you ask me the questions and I'll just give you all the spice, or you can just start talking because I can talk for hours. However you prefer the format. Shut up, Dennie.
So let's go all the way back to the beginning. What made you sign up for this mini?
So really, I have a huge ego, if you guys didn't know. And I did really bad in the previous mini that Lauren hosted, and really no fault of my own. I was swap screwed, and it really pissed me off. And so when she was telling me about it, I was like, "Fuck yeah, I want redemption. I'm playing, and I'm gonna go hard." And I was all in. So, and I think something happened that week where I was sick or something with my ears. And she's like, "You can back out if you want to." And I was like, "No, I cannot actually back out." So I just wanted to really play again because I had a lot of fun and I wanted to do better than I did the first mini, even though, it was 2 separate entities.
Mm-hmm. Well, there was.
But let me say this: had I known that Serena was Robbie's wife because Robbie screwed me in that mini, she would have been the first fucking boot. 100% done. Done.
Yeah. Well, there was a point. I think either the first or second tribal council where you had to go to. You're like, all right, now I'm actually playing this game. This is fun because you were coasting along because you guys had the first 2 wins, and you're like, all right, now we can do something. We can make some moves and start playing this game.
Yes, I hate winning. I mean, I like winning because it makes you safe, but I want to vote bitches out. Let's get them out and go further. That's what I want to do. That's what I'm here to play. Even when I watch the real show, so I'm a little bit older. I'm not older than Dennie, but I've been watching Survivor since I was 17. And I still love it. It's still my favorite show. Jesus. But I fast forward to the challenges now. I don't give a fuck who wins. I want to see the plotting. So for me, it's great. Oh yay, we're winning. But I'm like, damn, I want to vote people out. That's what I'm here to do. Let's do it. So yeah, I was excited once we lost.
It took for you to sit out of a challenge for your tribe to actually lose. So you did yourself justice there, and then you got to go and cast your vote. Some
divine intervention right there, right? Honestly, can I just tell you too, I don't know what it was. I started out that day. I remember my ear stings, and I was good. And then that challenge, I was like, I did not fucking feel like doing this challenge. And so I was like, I'll sit out. And that was all it was. It wasn't me trying to be lazy. They're like, who's sitting out? I was like, I will. Next. So it worked out in my favor.
Yeah, for sure. You were on the fence with Eli and Kyle kind of being that last person to the addition of the group. And then obviously Eli didn't do the best in that challenge. But before going into that challenge, did you have a stronger pull toward one of them?
So honestly, yes, I had a stronger pull towards Kyle. My reservation with Kyle, and I think you saw it all episode, was we trusted each other, but we didn't. We were together, but we weren't. And that was how it was from day one. So that was that was my instinct with Kyle from the second I met him. I liked him, but I was like, ooh, do we trust each other? Do we not? Eli, he just came off as really shady, from the back. I liked him, but I'm like, this motherfucker will stab me in the back. And as you guys saw, he was going around saying this, saying that, and he was in me and Dylan saying this and telling, Nikki this, and it just, I was like, this is, I want to be the one who's controlling these strings a little bit more, less messy. So Eli has to go. Bye. And that's really what the decision came down to. But I always like Kyle, but as you guys saw, there was always this love, not even love, hate, we liked each other. There's just, I guess, trust, untrust. I don't know what you want to call it, but that's what it was. So.
For sure.
It seemed like you felt really comfortable with Dylan right off the bat. So was he initially who you really wanted to work with?
Yeah, so Dylan, yes, because he was in that first mini with that Lauren hosted with me. So I was like, dude, we both got like pre-merge, like let's like do this. So I was trying to pump him up, like, yeah, let's do this. And so I really wanted to work long term with Dylan. And Dylan, please forgive me for saying this. I don't think that Dylan has the best reads on things. So I figured that him and I mean, obviously he played an idol for Nikki and not himself, but, you know, I felt like I could be sort of like that puppet master, not necessarily towards him, but that he wouldn't catch on and be like, oh, Anthony's running the show, you know? And when I say the read, like him and I've talked after the game, and like he's told me, because I just hosted him in my game, he told me that he didn't believe that Jackie made a strategic move with that tie vote. And I'm like, what? Like, did you not watch it? Like, clearly it was, I mean, her words were there. You saw what she did. And because he's like, that's why I voted for Serena to win. Had I realized she really did it, I would have voted for you. And so I was like, thanks, asshole. But I just felt like that was going to be Dylan throughout the game. Like, I didn't want to say like, I just like I'd have a better read on things and I would be able to say, Dylan, this is what we need to do. This is our next move to get us further. And I think that would have gotten me the win. So yeah, I liked Dylan a lot and I wanted to play with him because I felt like we trusted each other and I could be a little snake.
Well, it's funny you say that because he wanted to throw his vote. He wanted all of you guys to vote Morgan, right?
No, he wanted us to vote Greg.
And you said Morgan, and he was like, okay. So
well, that's what I'm saying. And he kept saying, I knew Morgan had an idol. Well, like, say, Anthony, no, you're dumbass. Vote Greg, you know? And that never, like, all I said was, let's vote Greg. And I mean, Morgan and bam, that's what we did.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So maybe you're right in thinking that it would have been good to work with him because he really wouldn't put up a fight, right? He would just.
Right. And that's the players I like. I don't want someone trying to fight me. Like, Denny, I could never play with you. We'd be too loud together. And I'd be like, this bitch has got to go. Like, now.
Oh, damn. Okay.
Yeah, Denny's upset because normally she has a list with all her number ones. And now she just found out that you're not on the list.
Yeah,
she's kidding.
She's
kidding.
Using these exit interviews as interviews for number ones and recruitment for her army. So
I'm not.
It's all like reverse psychology because now we're telling everybody we're not number ones when we actually are. So
reverse.
It's like reverse psychology.
So on the Dylan thing, he uses his idol, and the look on your face during that moment. Like, I've watched it so many times and my eyes always go to your reaction. Like, you couldn't believe it. What were you thinking in that moment?
I was like, this bitch has an idol and I'm about to go to Rocks. That's what I really thought. And then he said, I'm going to play it for Nikki, which again, nobody was giving me a name. Like, I was like, it could be me, it could be Nikki, it could be Dylan. I didn't think it was going to be Serena or Kyle at all. Mm-hmm. And I was like, I have no idea. So I was like, if it's Dylan, he just saved himself. I'm going to Rocks. When I went to Nikki, I was like, oh, now Nikki's safe. I'm going to Rocks. And I was like, I'm about to be out of this damn game. Mm-hmm. So I was like, damn, I was shocked. Because I wish we had talked about it more. And I wish, watching it back, like, Nikki knew where the votes were going. Jackie said, would you vote Dylan? Like, I don't know why Nikki didn't stop and say, Dylan, no, play this for yourself. Like, it would have changed. Mm-hmm. I still would have went to Rocks, but we still would have had a fighting shot.
Well, she just was super excited. She was like, oh, thanks.
I know. She knew. And, you know, I think that's the testament to these minis is you don't have a lot of time. We talked about this ad nauseum. You know, you don't have a lot of time to say, this is the plan. I can't work my magic and make everybody think I'm their best friend in 2 minutes. I mean, you guys saw me and Morgan. We were enemies the whole damn game, you know? Mm-hmm. And she's probably a great person in real life, but in the game, I hated her.
Well, bring in Morgan. No, I'm just kidding.
Right? Come on in.
So we heard your name come up a lot. I know Carlo pitched getting you out.
Carlo was like, Anthony, you were his only target after.
I mean, he said everyone's name during that episode, right? But you were his target. And then we heard your name coming up throughout the rest of the game. So why do you think that was? Do you think it's because you are a pretty vocal player?
I think it was two things. I think that Yes, vocal. I mean, I will say what I want at Tribal Council. You both heard that. You guys heard my voting confessionals. I'm just loud and dramatic. And I'm just not afraid to say what I'm thinking and what's going to, I think, help me get further in the game. And it's always worked for me. I mean, I made the end. And that's kind of why, I don't mean to back that up. I think also, like, I won that immunity. So once Nikki and Dylan are gone, like, I won an immunity. Bam, like, I'm target number one. I knew it. And then, I'm like trying to cause chaos. So like, we didn't get rid of this asshole. And it just kept going every round. So yeah, I think I was a threat, but I was still able to make the end.
One of the things that I loved was you blew up a tribal council a little bit and you're like, well, I'm going home. Here's my vote. Doesn't really matter. You don't go home. And then the next round, you're like, crap, I just blew up that tribal council.
I was like, damn it, Anthony, keep your mouth shut sometimes.
I feel you so much with that. I really do.
But it also helped me too, because I think what it did, because at that point, I don't want to say that Serena, Kyle, and I were against each other, but we were very much like whatever gets us further. But by me doing that, it put like the three of us back on the same page. Like when Jackie said she was going to flip, like I remember being like, I've got to get into a scramble room with Serena and Kyle and make sure they do not write my name down. Like that is it. Like, because if not, it was going to be me, then it was going to be Kyle or Serena, then it was going to be Kyle. Done. And I wanted to change that up. So I think it definitely helped bring Kyle, Serena, and I back together. And then, then Morgan played her 15th idol for the evening, and then Jackie won immunity. So things changed.
Yeah, I definitely felt that with the three of you. You were like, well, there's nothing we can do but try and save ourselves. Like, good luck, boys. let's do this thing. And then finally you got this opportunity where like, oh damn, we didn't want to do this before. Let's like get back together. We didn't want to vote for each other, and let's get back together and take control.
And there was like no hard feelings. I'm like, I get it. Like I wrote Kyle's name down like twice. He wrote my name down at least once. So it was like, you got to do what you got to do. So what I was like, but we got to put this behind us and move forward and win this game. Because I really, at that point, when we got to that point, I really wanted to go to the end with Kyle for sure, 100%. That's when I was like, okay, like I trust this guy now, sort of.
Well, so you talk about people going to the end with. For you personally, did you actually think that going with Jackie and Serena was really the best case scenario for your game?
No, and here's what happened is, so, okay, let's back up. So, and Lauren, I think this has been discussed. Jackie and I knew each other before the game started. I'm not going to lie to anybody. We definitely was like, dude, we're going to sit together if we can, right? So she's actually the reason, like, she's the one who kept saying Dylan instead of, like, for instance, Anthony, that round to keep me safe. And then once she felt it was in her best interest, probably because I'm running my mouth, she's like, I'm going to flip, because she felt close to Serena as well. And she realized like Morgan and Greg were threats. So there's that part of it. Jackie asked me, she's like, what if we go to the end with Morgan, the final four, Morgan, me, you, and Serena? Well, of course I'm going to say, yeah, I'm not going to say no, Jackie. But I was like, all I'm going to do is vote at that 5 with Kyle and Serena, and I'm going to vote out Morgan. And I said, then Jackie's next. And I felt like I had a better shot against Serena and Kyle than I did Jackie or Morgan. So no, it wasn't my plan. It was just the cards that were dealt with me. And I knew going to that tribal council, that final tribal, I was going to have to really fucking drive it home. And, I think I did a good job, because I have people now that are messaging me being like, damn, I can't believe you didn't win. I think Jackie deserved it 100%, not because we were friends outside of it. I think that she played a really good game. She won challenges when she needed to. For me personally, I don't think that being a challenge beast is necessarily like a sign of a winner. And again, that's nothing to take away from Jackie, but she's never vulnerable. I was vulnerable every round and still was able to survive. And back to Serena, and then, I will say, watching it back, I didn't realize how, social she was. But Serena, to me, was just a non-threat the entire game. So I was honestly floored when I had one vote from Kyle, of all people, and Serena got 3. And again, I'm not talking shit. It really shocked me, because I thought people would see And I thought that I had explained that, like, listen, like I had a target as soon as Nikki left this game, and here I am with no advantages, you know? And so I thought that would get more merit, and it didn't. So, I mean, at the end of the day, it is what it is. I think that, you know, people messaging me now is once again a testament to the minis. You can't see everything that that I'm doing or whatever. So it's like, oh my God, Serena's nice. She's social. Anthony's an asshole at tribal council. So like, it makes sense from the perspective that you see, and I get that. But I definitely didn't think. I thought that I might be able to win, but it was going to be really, really hard against Jackie. I never thought that I had any issues with beating Serena, but clearly, every once in a while, I am wrong.
Well, we heard you say to Serena that neither of you would win against Morgan or Jackie.
And I believe, yeah.
Yeah, I wondered if you were being completely honest with her in that you didn't think you had a chance against either of them either.
No, I thought that I could definitely beat Serena. And if it was a final, two, I think I was still going with Kyle, because even though we were against each other, we still bonded at the end of it. But I thought that I could beat Kyle, and I thought that I could beat Serena. But even watching it back now, Kyle made way better relations with the other tribe than I did. So I can't even say that I think that I could beat Kyle. So,
which is bringing back to what you just said, that you don't see everything because you're in the game. But then watching it back, you can see how great and adaptable Kyle was in the game.
Absolutely.
But he was who you wanted to go to the end with. So who knows what would have happened.
Absolutely.
But I have had people tell me that they would have voted you based off of what they've seen after the fact. But
which is always, I mean, hindsight's 20/20, right? It sucks for me. But it was fun. It was fun being part of all those tie votes and, you know, deciding who the winner was single-handedly. Like I enjoyed that. So it was a lot of fun. And people, I think, you know, when they found out that I knew Jackie, they were like, oh, he just voted for Jackie because they knew each other. That's absolutely not the reason. I mean, again, I'm not challenge performance is not high on my criteria, but I think Jackie really maneuvered herself within this game, made the alliances she needed to on both sides, and got herself. I think she was going to the end regardless, honestly, the way she was playing. So for me, that's why she got my vote.
Yeah, that was one of my questions for you. If you hadn't known her beforehand, where would your vote have went? Only because you were with Serena from the start. So I just wondered if you didn't know Jackie beforehand, honestly, can you say from what you saw from her gameplay, is that really where your vote would have went?
So now I'm trying to think about it and trying to put it in a situation where I don't know Jackie. I would say it would still go there, because the reason why, if she didn't flip, if she didn't do that tie and just flip outright against Shea, there would be no Serena or Anthony at the end. So I think that there's some merit to that. And that's what I was thinking about the entire time at Final Tribal Council. I'm like, she's got, I don't have these moves. You know what I mean? So I would like to say that I would still vote for Jackie, but let's erase my memory, go play again and see what happens.
Yeah, I mean, and you also were saying that you didn't see Serena as the threat that you
did
in the episode. So even during her final tribal council, you still might not have voted Serena anyway, because you perceived her as more of a floater instead of a strategic or social player.
And I did, and I didn't realize how social she was. I mean, I still think that Kyle had us all beat as far as really socializing with the other tribe.
Right.
But no, I didn't see that. And I think that's probably just one thing where I should have done better is social. I mean, I socialized, but it was just Morgan and I were just enemies, and I had the damn idol clue and solved it 2 rounds later. If Kyle would have given it to me instead of freaking Morgan, we would have had the idol and Kyle would be in the game.
Yeah.
So,
well, you know what though? Kyle wasn't as crazy vocal as you were. You were not afraid to speak your mind, and I love watching players like you. It's very entertaining. I mean, my boy Frank is like that, very in your face, isn't afraid to say anything. We heard you say, are you guys just going to pick us off one by one? Is that the plan here? I mean, you weren't afraid to say anything, call anyone out, and to play that way and make it to the end says a lot, because that is not an easy thing to do.
That's what I was trying to tell. That's what I was really trying to like drive home at the final tribal council. Right. But I feel like that was my only selling point. Like I think one of the questions was, which survivor were you? And I'm like, who's won the game but's loud as fuck? And I was like, oh, Tyson. Like Tyson's like, I don't think I'm a Tyson. I think really when I play a long game, I'm more of like a Tony, honestly. But I was like, Tyson. And so like I was trying to drive that home, but that was really my only selling point. But thank you, because I agree. I was like, just loud and like, there's what's going to happen. And why are you doing this? And, you know.
I did think when you said Tyson, at least for this mini, I was like, oh, you know, that's actually a pretty good point, because like you did get people on your side and did get people to like you and stuff like that. But you were also like loud and boisterous and was like, I don't care, I'm going to say this. So I think that was a pretty like solid point.
That was like, hopefully it'll get me the win, but it did.
Well, there's two sides to that, because if you're aligned with someone who's really vocal and whatnot, it's great because they're taking the attention off of you as a player. But when you're not aligned with a very vocal person, you're like, it's kind of scary. We heard Serena say that you were scary. So
which shocked me. So like, okay, let's go back to that. So like even Serena, and I didn't think this about myself. Serena's like, he's so good at talking at tribal council. Like he's scary. Like, so even Serena, who's in my alliance, thought I was a threat. Like, I didn't think anything about myself. Lauren would ask questions and I'd be like, okay. Like, and I guess I was bitchy and honest. I don't know. But
that's what I want at tribal council. I don't want the people that just sit there, I don't know, and just give like, I guess. I need the fiery answers.
Yeah. Yeah, but it was, I love, when I watched it, I was shocked when she was like, Anthony is like a threat. And I was like, I am? Okay. But, you know.
I'll take it.
Yeah, I'll take it. And there was something I saw in one of your exit interviews with Robbie, or his recap, where he said, and I looked back and it was like, it's true. He's like, Anthony is, you can tell if he's with you or not, because if he's with you, he's going to tell you a name. If he's not with you, he's going to say, what do you want to do? And like, I watched every episode, like when I was in that breakout room towards the end with Morgan and Greg, and I had no intention of working with them. I was like, what do you guys want to do? And I'm like, damn, Robbie's right. Like, that's the really telling thing about me is like, if I'm with you, I will give you a name. If I'm not going to say shit.
So are you going to move that? You're going to take that with you moving forward into your next game?
I think so too, because I just noticed it so many times. I was like, damn, like Robbie is no joke about this. Like, it's very obvious when I'm not with you.
He's exposing you for a future game potentially. You never know.
I know. So now I got to just give names all the time, I guess. Like,
your what do you want to do is to Kyle's, this is the worst case scenario.
Like, what do you want to do? Yeah. Because I noticed I did it with Carlo. I did it with Morgan and Greg. I did it with Eli. But when it was like Nikki, I was like, oh, let's vote on Eli, you know? And Nikki was somebody, I wanted to hide behind Nikki. I was like, Nikki's going to be a social player and people are going to want her out. And I was like, I do want to get Nikki out, but I want to get her out like 5th. Like, that was my plan. Like, I'm like, she can go to 5 and then she's gone. Like, so that was my plan.
Mm-hmm.
So describe your game in one word. Got to do it.
Flashy. How about
that? I love it.
I think it's accurate. Like, I'm always just vocal, and I'm vocal, and I'll say what I want. And I did it at Final Tribal too, you know. So just flashy, like people. And I think that's why I do so well in these games. You know, I've done very well in a lot of games, and I think it's because people don't know how to take me, or they underestimate me, and like then all of a sudden they're voted out, and they're like, "Fuck!" Like, he just played us. Like,
or they want to hide behind you,
which is fine. Hide behind me all you want, and then I'll vote you out and go to the end with someone I can beat. And now I just want another game. Next.
So, do you think you could ever play in a different way?
So the truth is, and I heard this a lot in a couple of my long games, and I think somebody else may have said it here, I could be crazy, I like to be in control. And I always try to relinquish that control and be like, Anthony, shut your mouth. But it never works out that way for me. So I don't think so. I think that, you know, you have to be adaptable. And I can be adaptable in terms of, I mean, this one long game I just won back in December, like I played with this, you know, one girl that like we don't really have a lot in common. We're still really good friends. But I remember talking to her for like 8 hours straight, like, and about just whatever. And so I built that trust. But at the end of the day, I still had to have that control. You know what I mean? So I can adapt my game to be Denny's best friend, to be Lauren's best friend, to be McKenna's best friend. But if McKenna comes to me and says, I want to vote out Lauren, and that's not what I want, like, I'm going to be a baby about it and be like, no. So, I mean, not as dramatic as that, but I'm going to do
realistically, I'd be voting out Denny, but
I just well, me, yeah. But
we already know Anthony won't work with me, so
I didn't say it wouldn't work with you. I didn't say it wouldn't work with you. I said that you were like me a lot, and that you're very, eccentric,
well,
I guess.
I do like to be in control, I'm just not as loud about it.
Yeah, and I don't know if that takes the target off of me. It's kind of like, I don't really watch Big Brother, but wasn't there an Evil Dick where he was just he's such a target that like he made it to the end? And I don't know if I would say that's my strategy, but it's just like, if you put a big enough target on yourself, your target goes away, right? So
sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes.
Well, Denny, Lauren, any other questions for Anthony?
No, just want to say I loved watching you.
Yeah.
Definitely want to watch you again. So I hope to see you in a future game. But apparently not one that I'm in.
I told you, reverse psychology.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, if you couldn't win, you at least got the next kind of best thing of being the person to vote for the winner. So thank you for playing.
That was
and
fulfilling.
you did a great job. Good night, everyone.